Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we're gonna do some orchid updates with the good and the bad. Focus on the bad. There are some orchids which simply don't want to do very well for me, so let's make an update on them because these orchids that I'm gonna show you, I'm not entirely sure if they're gonna make it. Alrighty, what should we start with? Let's start with something bad. Alrighty, the first piece of bad news is this Paphiopedilum. This is the henryanum. I received this one actually last year from Anna Maria. It is, I think, a division from hers. And ever since then, it really didn't do all that much. It started to create this little keiki, or actually new shoot, they're sympodials. But it's not developing quite well, and also this orchid started to have some dehydration, or I'm not necessarily sure what's going on the leaves, but the tips are dying back and I cannot figure out what's wrong with this guy. It did not produce any new roots. As far as I can see, the roots it had, they were not in good condition, they were very short and they didn't grow. This orchid did not produce anything new, didn't even try to produce anything new, and it's kind of slowly depleting at this moment. Now this orchid isn't sick, or at least I think it's not sick. Anna Maria's division did very well for her, she sold it, but I'm not entirely sure my division is perfectly healthy. If you remember, I did that boo-boo in which I put all of my orchids in the same bucket of insecticides. So there is a chance this orchid contacted that really horrible disease. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. I don't really think it's going to make it. I was hoping for that new growth to be its saving grace, but at this point I'm starting to doubt it. It's kind of weird because all of my other Paphiopedilums are doing really well. They actually just started to grow once again. During wintertime it was a little bit too cold for them, I think, but now that it warmed up a little bit, they're starting to produce new leaves, except this one. So yeah, sadly, I love this one. It has a really nice pink pouch, and I did see it for sale on eBay. I think I'm gonna replace it. I really love it. But for whatever reason, this division didn't want to do so well for me. So I think this is one of the last videos in which we're gonna see it. Alrighty, next up. This is not necessarily bad news, but some problems. This is the keiki from that Phalaenopsis, which I received with mealybugs and all of those crazy things. The mother plant actually died. Indeed, the stem had some rotting issues. I suspect it was not alive anymore. Therefore, the mother orchid did not produce any roots, did not try to create too many structures except the Basil Keikis. This is one of them. He's okay, slightly dehydrated, but as you can see at the top right here, I have some issues with the roots. Yet again, those desiccation issues. Nonetheless, this orchid will be repotted very soon. I think tomorrow, and tomorrow is Sunday, I think I'm gonna take the day off from cleaning and arranging and fixing the apartment, and I'm just gonna focus a little bit on the orchids because I've kind of neglected them. So this one is still doing okay. He's gonna be okay, but I really don't like that root tip damage issue that I have at the top. So you see Phalaenopsis are affected as well, some of them at least, and this guy will get repotted pretty soon, but he's still alive. So from one keiki to another, here is the other one. If you remember, a little while back I received some orchids which were kind of dead from somebody to try to save, and I couldn't, but this was a spike keiki that I managed to save on one of them. And lo and behold, he is starting to produce new roots right here. The older roots are still alive. This orchid started to get a little bit more hydrated, as you can see, but not completely. This new leaf started to grow a little bit more, but I'm really happy to see brand new roots forming. Now, if you didn't see the initial video with those orchids, I'll link it down below so you can see the state of demise those orchids reached and why they actually died. So do check the description below if you'd like to see that video. Another piece of so-and-so news is the Dendrobium venustum. If you remember, he was not potted because I simply didn't know if he would make it. In the meantime, I did find some little jars actually that I transformed into some pots. This orchid has a few roots in not very good condition, but I think I do see a little nub in here starting to swell and form. Also, the older canes look really bad, but the new one is not that bad. So this orchid might have some energy into it for producing a new growth. So what I did was pot it up, and I am keeping an eye on this new growth, see what happens. It seems to me like it wants to grow, but I'm really not sure. Not entirely sure if he will do okay, but that's the state he is in. I received it without roots, and in the winter time I could not convince it to produce any roots. He actually produced two very tiny roots that got the damage. So you can see how that damage thing, the surface damage, was a real problem for me. It's a life and death situation here. I don't need any of that damage. Luckily it stopped, So we'll see what happens to this new nubbin. Alrighty, another piece of bad news. I think I'm gonna title this video the bad news, bad orchid news. This is the Howeara that we purchased last summer, the yellow one. It never did okay for me. Furthermore, the growths in the back have started to die. It only created this new growth. You can see the only plump pseudobulb, which is currently working on his own new growth somewhere in the back there. Oh no, it died. I'm just seeing it now. Yeah, do you see that yellow thing? It's not a leaf. It was the new growth and it died. And I did not water this orchid from above. I didn't shower it. I did nothing of the sorts. But let me show you something really funny. Do you see that on the leaves? Do you see this? Now, doesn't this look like some sort of virus? It might be virused. Ever since I purchased it, it did not do okay for me. And right now the new growth died without any type of reason. And as far as I know, Howearas are actually pretty hardy orchids. So this is really strange what's going on here. I didn't check it for Fusarium actually. I'm not sure. I will check it. As I'm repotting, I was considering to just place this orchid in a jar, see what happens, so that I don't spoil medium and have to boil it afterwards and so on. But I'll do a cut and see if it has Fusarium. I honestly don't think. Actually, I'm not sure, because these older pseudobulbs, even though the orchid produced roots, they still wrinkled, so I'm not sure. But that little spotting on the leaves, it should not be there. I searched pictures on the internet. Howearas are not naturally that spotted, so there's something wrong with this orchid. I suspect it's a virus, case in which, bye-bye Howeara, sadly. I was liking this orchid. I have to say though, it's not my absolute favorite. I kind of enjoyed the red one more. This was the yellow one. But because this orchid is supposed to be hardy and is supposed to create quite a lot of flower spikes, such a wonderful display actually, it makes up for the lack of, let's say, interesting flowers, for me at least, with the abundance of flowers. And this really doesn't look so good. So I cannot say I am super heartbroken. These are not rare plants, but I'm kind of sorry. Yeah, it's an orchid that is dying. It's never funny. Alrighty, next piece of bad news, and this one kind of hurts, is the Renanthera monachica. I have this plant for quite a long time. She was initially potted in the medium that inflicted such a horrible fungal disease on my orchids that about 20 of them kind of died along the way. But she hung on. You can see though that the infection has taken a toll, and furthermore I can see that one of the leaves from the top is yellowing. Yet again, I did not water this orchid from above, didn't even shower her, so something is happening. The root system was okay, but never quite very vigorous. Again, this orchid was not very vigorous. She had a lot of spider mites at some point and lost quite a few leaves at the base. This orchid does not have Fusarium. I'm pretty sure it looks different, but I think she has something, and I don't know what. So at this point, I am considering buying a different one. I do have the Phalaenopsis, the Renanthera, which is doing very, very well. There is a big difference between these two. This is really not a hardy orchid, and it's not supposed to be like that. As far as I read, they are quite hardy orchids, pretty much like Vandas. This one though, I don't know, she's just losing leaves. She's just not doing very well at the moment. I know she's been through a lot, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I am of course still keeping her and seeing what she does, but I am really considering purchasing a different one, a bigger one. I purchased this one as a seedling anyway. So sadly, not sure how much we will see this one until I find a new one. Yeah, she's not doing well. But then again, a little piece of good news. This is one of the hardiest Oncidium or Oncidium hybrids or intergenerics that I've ever seen. This is, well, let's just call it Miltonidium. I'm not sure how they call it these days. Painter's Delight. It is a beautiful orchid and it smells like propolis, which happens to be to my liking. I don't know, childhood memories. But it has a beautiful flower, waxy, very glossy, really like it. So this was in very poor condition. Yet again, one of those really, really, really old orchids. I think it's 4 years already since I have it. I purchased it at a discount without any type of roots. She made a comeback. But then what do you know, the bad medium, and then the spider mites and Oncidiums were actually really affected by the spider mites. A lot of years being set back, but she still pushes on. This is the new growth right here. Does not look bad considering. And also there is another one in the back. I did not expect it to create this new growth because as you can see, it's coming from a very, very old pseudobulb. You can see remnants of spider mites right there. That's damage. This is how it can look like. But the back growth looks okay. New growth in the front looks okay. No spikes as far as I can see, but I really don't care. Root system is growing really nice. She's such a hardy orchid. And the last orchid we're gonna take a look at today, another good news. This is one of the ICU orchids. If you remember, I received a lot of back divisions last year in January. I'll link it down below to that video. So this one was one that I really hoped to save. This is the Cattleya harrisoniae alba. The reasoning why I want to save this one is that it might actually be related to the white Cattleya that I lost to Fusarium, the Princess Jackie. This is how we named her. It's not a registered name, so don't really look for it. It doesn't exist. But it was one of those Cattleyas with the most beautiful fragrance, and it looked like so many other Cattleya species or hybrids that we weren't really sure what it is. It might just be a Harrisoniae hybrid or even the Harrisoniae herself, although I doubt it. It was a store-bought orchid. So let's do the update. When I received this orchid, I received two canes. This one and this one. Did not have any type of roots, and we put it in the ICU. It started to create some roots at some point, then came the move. I was really nervous with this one. Such a vigorous little orchid, I can't believe it. There are roots inside the pot. I'm not sure if there's anything at the top that I can show you, but there are roots. She created a decent root system. Also, ever since then, since January last year, she created this pseudobobe. You can see how tiny it is. It's not even a bifoliate. And then the next one was this one, a little bit bigger. Whoopsie. Doesn't really show, but look at this leaf in comparison to the other one. Definite improvement. And now, behold, this is what she's growing. I'm not entirely sure if it is full size, a full-size cane, but it's bifoliate, which is good news actually for bifoliates. And it looks a lot taller, a lot better, very similar to the older canes, and I don't know if I should expect blooms, but I'm just so happy with this little orchid. Such a hardy orchid, I cannot believe it. So the Harrisoniae, there are two varieties. There's the normal one, which I think it's pink. I don't remember the color. And also the white one. It's a pure white Cattleya orchid. This is the alba form. Fingers crossed, it is the Princess Jackie, because that fragrance, oh my gosh, when I find the orchid with that fragrance, I'm gonna let you know, you need to have that one. You need to at least smell it. If you ever see it, it's one of those fragrances, so hard to describe. It's floral, but I cannot really say what type of flower that smells like. One of my absolute favorites. So looking forward, hopefully it blooms, and yeah, we're gonna figure out the mystery with the Princess Jackie so everyone can have this orchid. And this concludes the update for today. Some of you asked me what's wrong with my schedule, and I think you kind of missed the announcement. I just moved into the new apartment, and there are just so many issues that keep arising. It's not even funny. Yesterday, I think I had the worst days of my life. I was on the verge of breaking down. We had a pipe break and flood pretty much everything and wet pretty much everything. And yesterday was one of those days when I woke up already very tired, and I just wanted to tend for my orchids. That's all I wanted. And when I saw that pool of water, I just knew it's gonna be a bad day. And it was so bad. So yeah, I'm really hoping to get on schedule once again with the videos. I need orchid therapy right now. It's like my life depends on it. I really hope I do. Please just bear with me a few more days, hopefully, and keep your fingers crossed nothing else breaks. Alrighty, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for daily orchids and plants videos. And if you'd like to be part of the notification squad, just turn on notifications so you never miss any of my videos. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye! Here she is, the gold digger. Such a wonderful name, actually. Let's adjust the camera. This is pretty much the color of this orchid. It is a beautiful orange yellow. It's the definition of what I like most when it comes to yellow orchids, this really orangey one. Now, in one of my older videos, I told you that this one smells like vitamin C. Well, let's make a little correction. You know those effervescent vitamins that are orange? They're supposed to be flavored like orange, and they contain vitamin C, but now that I think about it, maybe other vitamins. Yeah, this is how she smells like. She smells like effervescent vitamins flavored of orange. I really love those vitamins, and now that I think about it, I'm in the mood for that vitamin. I'm gonna go to the pharmacy today.